This Friday evening, something remarkable is coming to Des Moines and doesn't happen very often. 6 Catholic priests were killed in Mexico in the 1920s, not for a political cause, not for a revolution. They were killed because they refused to stop being priests. The Mexican government had effectively outlawed the Catholic Church, banned public mass, desecrated churches, expelled clergy, and these 6 men kept serving anyway. They were killed during what was known as the Cristeros War, a period of intense anti-Catholic persecution from 1926 to 1929. And every one of them, before they died, reportedly went to their deaths with the same words on their lips: Viva Cristo Rey, long live Christ the King. On May 21st, 2000, Pope John Paul II canonized all 6 of them, and every one of these 6 martyr priests was a Knight of Columbus. The Knights of Columbus in Mexico had become a symbolic of Catholic strength, organizing schools, supporting the defense of religious liberty, and aiding refugees while their brother priests were being hunted down. This Friday, June 19th, at Sacred Heart here in West Des Moines, the relics of these 6 saints will arrive in the West Des Moines area. And joining me in studio this morning are 2 of the people who have helped make this happen: Monica Meredith, Hispanic Ministry Director at Sacred Heart, and Antonio Banuelos, a Knight of Columbus. Welcome to you both. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, yes. We're so excited you guys are here. And this is an exciting opportunity. Obviously, there's the relics have great meaning, and they're going to be at Sacred Heart on Friday. They're actually going to be in Perry at St. Patrick's tonight, and then at the cathedral on June 20th. So we've got their presence are going to be around the Des Moines area, which is really exciting. So just to kind of ask you guys a couple questions about this, Antonio, when you actually sit and think about the fact that these men wore the same Knights of Columbus pin that you wore, that they took the same oath that you took, how does that affect you personally? What do you think about that?
Well, the thing is, that's what motivates us as Knights, to say we're not here just for the pancake breakfast or for the fish fry. That's important on what we do, but at the end, we are bold Catholics, that we say Christ told us, go make disciples of all nations regardless. So the apostles win, again, a lot of adversity. So we as Knights, we're going to do that. And just one little thing to mention, in 2000, John Paul II canonized 26 martyrs from the Cristeros War. 6 of them were Knights of Columbus, and those are the ones we have here. But actually it was 26. So we have a lot of saints in Mexico, thank God.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Blessed be God for that. And I think, to your point, what an encouragement, I think, especially for the church now, to be able to look back not just at saints from hundreds and years ago or even like early in the church, but to be able to look back at, like, this was the 1920s.
Yes.
This is not long ago. That we're talking like 100 years ago, that there are people that were being martyred for the faith. I mean, that's incredible. Monica, how did this pilgrimage find its way to Sacred Heart, and what do you think it means for the parishioners at Sacred Heart? And
Well, they bring home. This is like bringing home to Sacred Heart. I was talking to a lady of a Monday night, and she was telling me she remember having her grandma talk about this. She told me it's a hill where everybody used to hide over there and pray. So it's also bringing the reality of we can be saints too. You were there with the relics of real people that were here, like you say, no more than 100 years. This is like last century. So we can do this too, little things that you live every day as a faithful Catholic. It can do courageous things. You can become a saint too.
Absolutely. And I think, again, just like in the midst of the culture we live in today, right, we I've often heard it said that we don't live in Christendom anymore, right? We don't live in this age that lives in a Christian moral view that our culture is guided by the Christian principles. It's not, right? We live in an apostolic age where it demands, in some senses, in many parts of the world, demands our life, right? To be able to say, whether you're a martyr by blood or a martyr just by your life, by standing up for the faith, like it's going to demand, there's a cost to discipleship, right? And what an encouragement for that. Now, maybe both of you could kind of walk us through Friday, so there's Mass at 7, a relic presentation at 8, social at 8:30. For someone